No, I'm not gonna do that shit. All right. What is up, guys? Charalampos here from the Curry Bandits, and today we have a bit of a special video. We're here with the top, one of the top 128 finishers from the European Championships. How about you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about the tournament?
Hello, my name is Charalampos Chatzistavrou. I go by Aki, and I finished in the most recent European Championship. On I finished 82nd on Swiss, and I lost the first round of top 128. I played Spright. Yeah, that's
Right.
pretty much it.
All right. What were your matchups like? Like, what did you play against?
So round one I played against Mathematic Gnister. That matchup made me realize a big problem with my list, but which is not playing Kachark, and no other way to really out a big Bangus
Yeah.
without making Axe code. But I never played against the same matchup again, so didn't matter. Next I played Spright. I won again.
Right.
Round three, I lost to Flander. Didn't. It's really who opens a better hand in that matchup. Game one, the open shifter. Game two, they couldn't break my board. Game three, I did an open ruler. Lost. Round four, Adventure Splight. Don't remember much about it. I know I won. Round five, I played against Tier Punk. It was a pretty close game one. I misplayed by making Zeus into the matchup, which is really bad. Now I learn. But I managed to win in time by DD-crowing a Snow SS swung over with Jet over Mascarena for doing more damage.
Nice.
Round six, I played against the Erika deck. I didn't see any of my going first side the cards game three. They opened ruler and they won. Round seven, I played against Punk Splight, by specifically against Sebdo 360.
Oh,
If anyone
nice.
of them knows him. I think I won the die roll, but I bricked very hard game one, so I lost it. I won game two and lost game three. No, I won game three.
Ah.
So and then I played against Danger Tirlament. Again, I lost game one due to bad grinding. Won game two, and I won due to time extension on the last game, but doing more damage. It was a really weird judge call. They thought we didn't have a time extension, and we called a bunch of judges over, but they ruled in my favor that the extension was valid,
Nice,
and
nice.
I won. Round nine, which was the last round for the day one, I was against Branded Early, who played DP. Not much to say. Went first game one. I made a good board. They couldn't break it. Game two, they go first obviously, and I managed to grind it out to a game state where there is a skill drain and a rivalry on the board, but they have both of the Golden Lords banished, one from Diddy Crow or Call by the Grave, and another from how do you call it, Smashers, and they couldn't really access either the branded engine due to skill drain or the elder headings due to having no lords. Celestial was in the grave, so DP was dead as well. And so I drew a Pagratops and did a beatdown for the rest of the game. And it's ended day one with 7-2. Heading into day two, played against Brother Despia. The new trap allowed them to artifact me going second game one and game three. Didn't draw the out. Lost. Round 11 played against Adventure Splight. They had Sanctum and Schism because they were playing Gale Dogra. But I drew a reboot and it was a 2-0.
Nice.
Last, the match that made me or lost me the top cut was against Mirror Match Splight. Game 3, because I'm playing Sanctum, I drew my scythe, and the rest of the hand wasn't very special. I remember them ogring me, and I passed on just a red and a set starters. They I remember setting an appointer, but appointer just revealed a Veiler, one Diva, and two Shuffrogs, and I couldn't really stop them.
Right.
I even summoned the Jet in attack from starter, and they could just beat over it, turning off my Renegade. But surprisingly, they misplayed. They misplayed very, very hard. They forgot about having only one Toad in the deck and only one Shuffrog in the deck, so didn't make Toad. They passed on Mascarena and the set starters, but in my draw phase, they used set starter and locked themselves into Link 2s. So the Mascarena, instead of doing a goddess, they did dark.
Ah.
And I think they were very mad at themselves after they lost due to me making Zeus. Ended on X3, which is more than enough of a topping record. I think X31 made top cut.
That's what I heard. Like at least.
Yeah, I remember Vlad Hivnokorn having that record as well, and a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
And yeah, heading into top 128, I played against another Greek person, really cool guy. Mirror match, won the die roll, went first, won, lost the die roll. Game 2, they went first. They make 4 summons gigantic, I ogre them. It resolves. They tactics. They shuffle back my only play, which was a starter. My Nibble in hand was dead. I had to use my Ashen starter. I drew dead tactics, and they won game 2. And game 3, I really wasn't meant to win it. I just drew. I side in 3 Lotus, 3 Scythe, and 3 Sanctum and 1 Scythe, going first against Spright game 3. And I drew Prosperity, Jet, Sanctum. Fifth card was Scythe.
Oof.
Three of my cards in hand were dead. They were not even close enough to beating my opponent's hand, and it wasn't really meant to be for me. Just there and then there.
Yeah.
I think my opponent just lost to top 64 as well. It is fine.
Still a great finish. I was gonna ask you, like, how did you feel about the Sanctum engine? Because I don't think that's seeing too much play right now. I haven't seen.
It's better than Dimensional Barrier in a format where Spright can just play with links, and there's a Tirlament just go still making the Curious into Zero Boros with Snow in the Grave setup. It's not really that good. While Sanctum, yeah, it's a bit bricky with the Scythe, but when it resolves, it just wins you the game because the Ash will probably be used. I think going forward, I might lessen the amount of Sanctums and the amount of appointers, but for Trap Trick, which is essentially another copy.
Yeah, you get
less bricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I was really happy that I topped. It's my first ever big event in real life. Going from a nationals to top 16 finish to.
I was gonna say it was second really with the Greek nationals.
Yeah, it was very good. My invite just like 2 months later, just topping Euros. Insane. I did benefit from it being 128, top 128 because I wasn't topping top 64. But also probably it was one of the biggest Euros ever, 2,078 people.
Yeah.
So I think it was appropriate. I wanna go over the list a bit.
Okay.
I mean, it's for the Spright stuff, just 3 blue, 3 jet, 1 carrot, 2 red, because when ruler is in the format, you wanna summon the other from starter if you have it. Also good in the grind game if they crack your board.
Yeah.
Just having another name is not bad. Is the best. People were trying to convince me on Pixies. I don't really like the card. I didn't miss the card. I missed Katsark more than Pixies. Still wouldn't play it. 3 starter obviously. One of Masters always came up probably because in the part of my end board was always going for it over starter with Jet and just really good card. Won me lot of games. For starters, Diva a bunch of times where I felt that my opponent didn't have hand ups. I just went for Hulk, got an ass in hand to help me play around the ruler a bit better. 3 Swafrog, 1 Ronin. Doofrog is bad. I don't want to draw it. I don't want to summon it because Superpole is a card. Uh, I, I even played on Almiraz for if I open Swafrog, nothing else, which never came up. I will cut Almiraz going forward if I play this deck again. 3 Prosperity helps see either your powerful spell cards like Ruler and Tactics, or just see a starting play.
Yeah, I know this is always a loaded question, but what did you usually banish with Prosperity?
Okay, so going first, I usually banish depending on the hand, obviously, but I think one of my 3 elves, because I play 3 good for grind game. Almiraz if my hand is good enough to play without it. Mascarena if I don't want to commit to her. Dark and or Hulk if I don't want to access them. And I think Sky Cavalry and Downerd are the last 2.
Right.
Because when I'm going first, when I'm going second, I banish again one of the elves, Almiraz, and probably my link package like Mascarena, Unicorn, Hulk, maybe Access as well.
Yeah.
That's my prosperity banishes. As for my tech slots, I decided to play 12 hand wraps, 3 Ass, 3 Imperm, 2 Crow, 2 Ogre, 2 Nibiru. You have a really good chance of seeing 2 hand wraps, so that's why I decided Nibiru wasn't banned, and lots of tournament players just really not really assume that Nibiru won't be in the main deck. Even some Spright players just may play around the permanence by making Carrot and not Nibiru.
Right.
When Nibiru hits. I played one called By the Grave, really good card. Punishes some greedy Spright players that use both a Negate Toad and Spright Reborn on the same chain.
Right.
Also stops hand traps and gets effective not activation, so it allows Tactics to resolve. Tactics, I played 2 topics of Tactics. I didn't want to see it all the time, just enough so I can find it of Prosperity or just open it once per game. Because of the Prosperity, I don't really use the first effect to draw. I mostly use the effect to shuffle back a card from your opponent, because when you use it, it's mostly when you have been hat trapped. Attack Ruler, card insane, stops every deck in the format some capacity. Maybe Math make less, but I didn't play. I play only one time against it, so it was always good when I saw it. Well, when I saw it going second, because going first it was dead card. And that's really it for the main deck. For the extra deck, the elf, I really wanted to auto grind any Spright player that played 2 elf, because that's your main grind game. Almiraz, for my friend, convinced me to play it over Katsark for when I open only Swafrog. Never summoned it once. We'll cut it. Unicorn for Mascarena, also shuffle back some niche cards that cannot be out other ways, like the big fusion of Tearlaments. Mascarena for link for going to Unicorn mostly. Almost never ended on it. I think it may be cuttable. Dark, really good in the mirror, really good into making access code by stealing a link 2 of their opponent. And sometimes you just crash to get a blue or a DD Crow or Jet. Hulk, when I'm not using the single package like Herald and Formula and stuff, but I was really going into it when I opened Diva, and I had no really good way to play around Dark Ruler. So just went to get an Ass or maybe an Ogre by bouncing back with Swafrog. Access code won me games. Helps for lethal, clears board, just a good boss. For Xyz, Swafrog, main boss monster, negates, recursion, steals cards, does everything. Might be banned. Will get banned. I will miss him. Sky Cavalry helps going second to clear bots and bounce back cards afloat. Two Gigantic, that's basically the card that ties the whole deck together. You play two for the grind game, not much to say there. Donner the Zeus to make have Zeus to have two activations. It's really a standard extra deck.
Right.
Side deck, reboot, good into back row. Also, I always sided in one reboot against combo decks because they will play Appointer, Sanctum, Debar, and stuff were always in the meta. And the worst case scenario you just reboot any permanence and Zeus away the board anyways. Evenly, really good versus Rika. Didn't get to resolve it because of Judgment. Really good versus Laments. Just all around a good card versus back row. 3 Sanctum, 3 Appointer, and of course the Scythe. That's my going first package into combo. I even side in some Appointers versus control like Ellie, so I can remove cards like Evenly or Lava Golems before they hit the board. I would like to have Sanctum perform better than it actually did because of me drawing the Scythe twice, which I think almost cost me one game and did cost me the other. 2 Cyclones. I want to have 6 back row slots, and it's really good when you go and when going first against back row, you wanna have something to draw and set. 13 Biru just to have more answers to Spright going second. Pagratops cracks open most combo boards, and really came up clutch against Ellie, and of course Scythe.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the deck.
All right, so that just about covers it. You got any shout-outs?
Shout out to my buddy Hoff who lent me the whole fucking deck.
Right.
From Prosperities to Blues. I wasn't really willing to pay so much for this, so I was good to have support. Shout out to my friend George Iliadis for essentially helping me make this list. I stole a bunch of ideas from him, but I did my own tweaks, like playing with the third elf and some stuff. And that's pretty much it.
Nice. Well, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you.